Guys, welcome back to my channel. Sorry I didn't post a video last week. It's just been crazy with work. I work 3 jobs at the minute. Don't get a day off. So then trying to fit in everything is just a bit of a nightmare. So I'm really sorry about that. Also, as you can hear, kittens and stuffs. Just honestly, it's a bit crazy. But there you go. I'm back now. And the case that we're going to look into today is... well, you make your mind up on it. It's about a missing person called James Candy. And there was certain things left behind, which makes it kind of shut and dry for me. But even if this is exactly how it seems, I wanted to spread light to this case because his family don't know what happened to him or where he is or etc. So maybe someone knows something, maybe someone found something or will do and then know what it is. I mean, you'll see what I mean when we get into it, but let's jump in. Just before we get into it, I wanted to show you this little guy. You're so pretty, aren't you? Look at him. So, basically, there's a lot of stray cats around me, so I really do try with them, but some of them are feral, which means ain't no chance you getting them spayed. And obviously, it costs a lot of money, so I really do try, but this happens every year. So this little guy, there was 3 of them, and 2 of them have found a home, and this little guy's going today, so that makes me very happy. And I just thought I'd show him. Look at his little white tail. He's so sweet. You want to see? You want to see a close up? Look. He's like, let me go, actually. He's very pretty. But yeah, someone's coming to collect him today. So he doesn't have to live on the streets, which is nice. Because there are a lot of, see you later little man, charities and whatnot, but a lot of the time, and rescues, and a lot of the time, they are full. So there you go. I just thought I'd introduce you to him. Anyway, let's jump into the case. James Candy was born on the 11th of May in 2000 to parents Karen and Colin, and they had a big family. There was 7 children in total, and he was the youngest. So he had 6 older brothers and sisters, and basically they had a foreclosure on their home, and then they ended up moving to this farm. And this was 6 years prior, by the way. They ended up moving to this farm, which, my gosh, did James love. It was in Alberta in Canada, and he proper thrived there. Like, he was a very fun-loving guy. He loved his animals. He loved going fishing and hunting with his father. He loved working the farm and doing everything with the animals. Like, when you have maybe chores for children to do that he didn't have to be asked, he just did it because he would just be out there feeding the animals, doing whatever needed to be done, baling the hay, just helping out wherever he could, and he really, really did thrive on the farm. He also had another hobby that he liked to do, which was bull riding, and he was super interested in that. Working in, like, the rodeo. Is it bull riding or bullfighting? I'm not sure which. But yeah, that's what he wanted to do. But just ignore it, okay? The mum saw it now. Now, there sadly would be a loss in the family. One of James's older brothers would actually die due to alcohol poisoning. He was addicted, sadly, and he passed away from it. So a lot of his family had a real big thing about addiction because obviously they lost one of their children to it. So it's absolutely heartbreaking. Him and James were very close as well. Now things started to struggle for James. He was being bullied in school, and it was for something and absolutely silly, which was his height. Not that bullying is good in any term, but do you know what I mean? Kids can be so mean. I mean, he's a teenager at this point. He's like 17. But he was being bullied for a long time. One of his family members, I believe a cousin, actually was in the same school and would defend him and help him. But then he went out and moved to a different school, and then he was sadly left on his own to defend himself against these bullies. And bullies with young people, well, with anyone really, but this is in terms of a young person, is just so detrimental to your mental health. Or it can be, and it's absolutely heartbreaking because they're so vulnerable, and these bullies just pick on them over nothing, and it's Well, it just boils my blood, basically. But yeah, he was getting bullied at school. He also had some struggles because he wanted to get his driving license, but his family couldn't afford it because his mother had broken her leg, so she couldn't work, which meant the only income they were able to live off was Colin's, so they couldn't pay for his driving lessons. He was trying to get a job, which was a dream job apparently that he was really wanted and really looking forward to getting, but they said that he couldn't get it because he was 17, so he was too young, so they wouldn't give it him. So he was devastated about that. He tried to get another job. Again, same thing happened. I think his dad tried to get him on in his place of work, but again, he didn't get it. And he'd recently just bought a truck off his uncle, and he really wanted to do this truck up and get it going and get his license and be able to go out and about. But none of this was happening for James, sadly. So due to all these struggles, James did actually begin smoking the green stuff. And he said that it calmed him down and made him feel a little bit better. But on one instance, his parents actually, I think it was his mother, went to get his jacket for him. And I don't know whether she felt it in his pocket or what. I don't know whether it just fell out, but the green stuff fell out. And so that is how she found out that her son was smoking it. They both approached him and had a discussion because, as I said, they already lost one son to an addiction. They really didn't like anything like that. Not that anybody does, but it was more home and personal for them because they'd already gone through it. So they basically had a word with him. Now, some sources say that there was an argument, but apparently there wasn't an argument. They just had a discussion with him to let him know that obviously they lost his brother, to alcohol poisoning. They didn't want to go through that again. Not only that, so they didn't want it in their house at all. Not only that, he wanted to be like working the rodeo and things like that was his passion. That's what he wanted to do. And they do regular drug tests and things on that. So basically they gave him the option of like smoking or doing his lifelong dream job that he wanted to do because he wouldn't be able to do both. So that was that. And then James was actually going out to a friend at the time, I believe, and his mum went to get his jacket for that. And then she told him that he wasn't going because they'd found this. So he went to bed at about 11. And then the next morning would be the 6th of August in 2017. He was 17 years old at this point. His father or mother, parents both, not sure, had actually heard a noise during the early hours, a banging. He had a massive dog called Reggie, which he adored. He loved this dog, loved spending time with the dog. But Reggie used to sleep at his door, so his father just thought, oh, well, it's probably Reggie just rolling around, because he does that. He knocks the door and it makes quite a bang because he's such a big dog. So he figured that was all it was, and that was that. But then the next morning came. It was about 9:30, and Colin went in to see what James was doing because he was supposed to help out with the farm like he normally would do. And he wasn't in there. He opened the door, the dog came out, Reggie, but James wasn't in there. He saw like a ruffled up mound at the end of the bed. He goes over, moves the covers, thinking maybe he's under there. He wasn't. And the room was filled with bugs. Now, they had a fly screen. So he looks over, the fly screen is fully open, and so is the window. When they had a look around, they found a note on the desk. And also he had taken his lariat, which is like the big long lasso rope. I think he'd taken his hat as well, but his like cowboy boot style shoes that he used to always wear were still there. He hadn't taken them, and they didn't notice any other shoes going missing, either, and those are what he would always wear. So it was very strange. Maybe he went outside barefoot, who actually knows, but his shoes were still there. But sadly, this note was a note of ill intent on his behalf, if you know what I mean. I don't want to say the word because YouTube and all that, but you get the drift. Basically, it said along the lines that he was going to do it. He wanted his parents to look after his dog. He wanted to be with his brother and his other dog that had passed away a few years ago. He just didn't want to deal anymore. And that he'd previously thought about it, basically. Now, his parents had no idea of this whatsoever. He had all these big plans. He had all this stuff he wanted to do. He seemed happy on the farm. He loved it. It was very strange. But people, sadly, are very good at hiding things. They really are. And you may think, oh, they would have never done it, but you just don't know. That's the heartbreaking thing, is you just don't know. But obviously, Colin went looking for his son. He's looking all around the house. He's looking everywhere, and he rings the police. They bring out search dogs. They bring out cadaver dogs. They bring out everything to look for James. Now, James was described as being 5'8". He had short blonde hair, blue eyes, a scar on his right knee because he had an accident with a chainsaw. And so that is the description that they put out. Now, there have been a few unconfirmed sightings of him, so I'm not even going to really go into them because it isn't confirmed that it was him. But James has never been seen since. There are a couple of theories, basically, that his note was exactly as it was, that is what he did, sadly. But they never found him. They never found a body. They never found anything. People have theorised that obviously he skipped out the window with no shoes on. How far could he have really got? But who knows when this happened? Maybe that bang that his dad heard in the early hours was him busting through the window or whatever and opening it and getting out. So he may have had hours and hours of a head start on everyone. And obviously, if you're going to do something like that, I don't think you'd want your family to find you. So maybe he just had a spot and he went there, and that was that. There's also other theories that there was foul play involved because he was being bullied. I'm not entirely sure that I believe that, but obviously that's up to you, and some people do believe that. Other people have said that he just couldn't deal anymore, and he would never do that to himself because his family have discussed that before, and they've always said that, what was it he said? He came out with a sentence. It's only a long-term solution for a short-term problem. And I like that because it is. Basically, if you do something like that, there's no axes, there's no nothing. But if you can try and get some help, try and stick it out, try all these different methods, then maybe there's a different way out for you. So if anyone is having them sorts of feelings, then please just talk to someone and let them know. Family, friends, psychiatrist, because even a psychiatrist, a lot of healthy people that never have any thoughts or anything like that go to psychiatry. It's a healthy thing to do. Like, people might think it's one of these things that oh my gosh, you shouldn't do, blah blah blah, but there's nothing wrong with it at all. So yeah, please just talk to someone. Something I actually forgot to mention is at some point, I don't know when it was, but his family was actually threatened by somebody on Facebook. They had made this account. They put out this thing saying basically, James Candy, if you are out there, come out of hiding. It's not the exact words, but it's similar. Come out of hiding before your parents go missing. So basically, they were threatening his parents and telling him to come back for some reason. I don't know why. They never found out who this person was either, because Facebook apparently only wanted to deal with the FBI and American law and not Canadian law. I don't know. Facebook's global, so I have no freaking clue why. But yeah, they wouldn't cooperate. They wouldn't release the information on this person. And I get, obviously, user privacy. I do get that. But this is literally someone threatening a family. Or even pretending to. It's still threatening. And nobody knows that it's a pretense. So, yeah. But yeah, obviously, I'd like to know what you guys think on it. Is it as cut and dry as it seems? But even if it is, his family would just like to know where he is, I guess, and just have some answers on it. They've done age progression photos on him of what he might look like now. Well, it might be a few years old now, but yeah. That is the end of this case. Please share it and spread it far and wide, because there is little to no coverage on this case, and that is heartbreaking. And I get it's not necessarily someone going missing under foul play or some strange circumstances or whatever, or someone getting murdered, but it still is a well, not a mystery. Is it a mystery if someone leaves a note? I don't know, because maybe that note was done to make them think that he did that, and then he went off to having another life, and then he wouldn't be looked for. I don't know, but I wanted to do this case either way. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye.